All right, folks, here we go. Now, this one is a really important topic because we're seeing lately a lot of demonstrations, a lot of things going on with protests and that kind of stuff. And what happens if you're driving along and you find yourself in the middle of one of those? We're going to be taking a look at a pretty intense video here in a second that's going to show us some important things to think about if that were ever to happen to us. Before we get into that, though, as always, if you enjoy the content, please like, share with your friends, comment below, and most important, hit that subscribe and that bell notification so you'll know whenever we post any new content, which we're going to be doing all the time. Before I get into this and get into the details, the first and most important thing is I don't care what the protest is about. For our purposes, it's irrelevant. I don't care if they're protesting a lack of pink fluffy unicorns. It doesn't matter. What matters is if you end up in the middle of a protest, in the middle of a demonstration, and it is potentially violent, and you're in your vehicle, you need to seriously think about the situation you're in and how to get out of that situation. What is the best way to get out? Is the best way to get out just hang a U-turn and leave? If it is, do it. Can you back up? Is there any way for you to back out, stop and back out? If you can, do it. Is there a side road, a parking lot, someplace where you can jump the curb? I don't worry about that. Of course, all of my vehicles are four-wheel drive, but even if I was in a little two-wheel drive car, I don't mind jumping the curb. How can you get out of there? If you are attacked, if that demonstration suddenly turns non-peaceful, your car is hit, your windows are broken, people reach into the vehicle, all kinds of things that we are regularly seeing happen these days. That is no longer a peaceful protest, okay? Now, really, realistically, I'm on the road, I'm driving. Yes, these people are breaking the law by just being in the middle of the road, okay? Yeah, we all know that, all right? I'm not just going to run people over for no reason. However, having said that, if my life or the life of my family that's in my vehicle is in danger, I'm leaving. I'm going to exit the danger zone by any means necessary. As we watch this video, what you're going to see is you're going to see the car attacked, okay? You're going to see the car attacked, but more importantly, you're going to see somebody reach in the window and grab the woman who's in the passenger seat. At that point, man, we got to make some decisions, okay? Should her window have been up? Yeah, I would have had my window up. We're going to talk about a few of those things here in a minute when we run this video. But really important, we got to take a look at this video as an example. There's stuff that happened before and after. I'm not worried about this. This is for training. I don't really care the circumstances. This is for training, and there's a lot of interesting things to take a look at that we need to consider in case we ever find ourselves in this situation. So let's run the video and see what we've got.
Watch out! Hey, 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 hey! Hey, 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 hey!
Chop!
All right, folks, so pretty intense situation, especially when somebody reaches in that vehicle. So let's talk about a few things. Now, we already spoke about if you can leave, leave. Try to leave without going through the people, okay? If there's a way out of there without going through the people, do it. Turn around, find another route. Google Maps will help you. It's no big deal. Get out of there, okay? But if there's no way out except through the people, first of all, doors locked, windows up. If you're in a four-wheel drive vehicle like I drive, that vehicle is immediately going into four-wheel drive. Need I explain why? Okay? The last thing I want is to get stuck for any reason and not be able to leave. Now, having said that, I am going to slowly progress through the crowd. I don't want to run anybody over. I want to give everybody a chance to get out of the way. If my family is with me, if I've got my wife and my two children with me, my number one moral obligation is to protect them. My other moral obligation is to stay here, stay alive, so I can provide for my family. If I'm going through that crowd in about the speed I would be driving if I was driving past a preschool that was just letting out for school, as an example. I'm driving through Walmart parking lot with children around. That's the speed I'm going to go. I'm going to go at the speed I would be driving if there were a lot of little children around, because quite frankly, these people in the middle of the street are acting like a lot of little children if they are blocking vehicles from having any way to exit the area. Now, having said that, if there's no attack on the vehicle, there's no attack on the vehicle. If they're hitting the vehicle, somebody smacking the hood with their hand, yelling, doing all this stuff, I don't care. I'm just going to progress on. However, where it changes is if somebody physically attacks my windows with an object and breaks the window or attempts to break the window. If I see a firearm, okay, everything changes right then. If somebody tries to reach in the window, everything changes. I need to exit the danger zone. And one of the things we really need to keep in mind, if there are people blocking me from leaving, let's think about that for a second. If I'm being attacked, if somebody breaks a window and somebody's reaching in that window, let's say they break the back window and somebody's reaching in the vehicle and my 4-year-old son's back there or my 2-year-old daughter is back there, okay? And people are blocking me from leaving to keep my family safe. Sorry, folks, I'm leaving, okay? Really, when you think about it, even if it wasn't intentional, even if they weren't trying to facilitate this attack, they are still facilitating the attack by preventing me from exiting the area, okay? We need to think about those things. I know some of you in the comments are going to get all bent out of shape about that, but hey, reality check. Don't block the road. Reality check. Don't block people when somebody's being attacked. Reality check. If you're a peaceful protester, you see some freaking idiot breaking into a car that's got kids in the back, stop him. Don't be a jackass, okay? It's that simple. I don't care what the cause is. No cause justifies breaking into vehicles and dragging people out of those vehicles, period, okay? And if I'm armed and somebody reaches in that vehicle, reaches in for my wife, reaches in for me, reaches in for one of my 2 children, guess what? It's on. I can't protect my family if I get drug out of the vehicle. I can't protect my wife if she gets drug out of the vehicle and I've got my 2 kids in the back because I can't protect everybody at the same time. If somebody reaches in that vehicle and I'm armed, and I usually am, guess what? I'm sorry, folks, but it's game over, okay? It's game over. I'm not going to play with the safety of my children. I'm not going to play with the safety of my wife, and I'm not going to play with my own safety as well. So I know this is intense. I know this is an intense video. A lot of people aren't going to like it, but the reality is this is a bit of a reality check. We saw it just recently in Texas. Guy comes up to the vehicle with an AK-47. The guy in the vehicle's got a gun. He fires off. AK guy dead. Vehicle guy not charged. Why? Because the guy with the AK threatened him. Period. Okay? You don't have to like it. That's just the reality. You're not allowed to put people's lives in danger. And if you do, well, then don't be surprised when bad things happen to you. Okay? I know this was an intense video, but these are some really important things to think about because this kind of stuff is happening over and over again throughout the country right now and throughout the world, not just in the U.S., and other places in the world as well. We appreciate the support of the channel, and the link for Patreon is below as well. We really appreciate your help because honestly, we can't do this without you guys. So thank you very much, and we'll just see how much of an explosion this video becomes in the comment section. All right? You guys train safe. Train for realistic encounters, and you guys keep your heads on a swivel out there. Be careful, know where the riots are, know where the protests are. Try to do your best to avoid them. All right? Thanks.